My name is Chris. I'm CEO and co-founder of Bitrue. So yes, I just talked to Scott. I'm probably the only speaker today who doesn't have British accent. I actually tried to practice that last night, but I don't have that talent, so please bear with me today. So here we go. Bitrue, be the first one. In the past 10, 20 years, you know that because of the boost of the internet, right, a lot of new things coming up. We got smartphone, we got some big company like Apple, Google, Facebook, this big company, Amazon. And then a lot of people, we try really hard to force ourselves to revolving every single day. That's why today we have the driverless auto. We will have the AI generation product coming up. But in the past 10, 20 years, there's one thing. It's one single thing that they will change themselves, but they are getting more powerful and more powerful every single day. Bank. JP Morgan, they are making more than 30 billion US dollars every single year. Why? Because we allow it. We are giving them the power. We are giving our hard-earning money to them, and then they lend it to someone else, and then they make a lot of money from that. But today, the bank is not as free as internet. They never change themselves. They never make any improvement in the past 10 years until recent years. They started to realize that there's some fintech stock coming out. So they start to think about, should we do something? So I always like to take one example. Like today, if you want to take a photo and then send it to my family and friend in Asia or in US, I can do it in seconds. But today, if you want to transfer money from Europe to US, it's gonna take me like at least 2 days. It's not free either. So banking today is not as free as internet. But it is not as fast as internet either, right? But we are putting most of the money to the bank. So bank, they take your money, you put in the saving account, your checking account, and then give you pretty limited interest. They give you pretty limited dividends, and then they use the money, they need to do something else and make a lot of money. And sadly, is that most of the people, we are too lazy to move the money from the checking account to saving account. So most of the money in the checking account, it means you're free to them. We are giving our money free to the bank. So, good thing is that cryptocurrency coming up. Cryptocurrency could be something that take lead to push the bank to either improve themselves or either be replaced them. And that's why today, Ripple's mission, enabling the world to move value, like move information today. That's Ripple's mission. And that's something I kind of believe. So this is how we started Bitrue. And this is how we relate to XRP and Ripple. Around end of the 2017, that's exactly the timing the price of Bitcoin skyrocketed to the roof. Right, got around 20,000 value at the time. And everyone noticed about blockchain. Everyone noticed about the cryptocurrency. So I got a chance to run a blockchain incubator in Silicon Valley. So I get to know a lot of blockchain projects, and then I review different kind of the user scenario, what's the application, how can I apply blockchain or cryptocurrency to this real world. And there's only one thing that I truly believe is that I believe the financial scenario will be the very first step to adopt blockchain. The financial step will be the very first thing to adopt cryptocurrency. And then one day there's a chance I got to join a fintech conference in Silicon Valley. And then I met a girl, a lady out there. Her name is Amy Yoshikawa. She's a senior director at Ripple. And that's the very first time I get to learn about the value of XRP. I get to learn the value of Ripple. What I'm trying to do, what's the mission. So right after the conference, I asked my team member, hey, go to have a set up meeting with this lady. Go to understand, learn more about XRP, and then get to learn more about what Ripple is trying to achieve, what is their objective. So, when we launched Bitrue last July, the very first decision we made is to adopt XRP as base currency. We are the very first exchange as a pilot doing this. Because that's what we believe. We have believed in our mind that this XRP thing could be something that could be adopted in this financial scenario very quickly by the world. Especially it's driven by a company called Ripple, in fact. But the thing is, last July, to be specifically, July 19th, when I host a press conference for Bitrue, on the night, I was very sad that I saw a lot of people made a lot of comments saying that was a joke. Bitrue was a joke. To make XRP as base currency is a joke. So, end of last year, this is my trick. Like 5 months ago, when we launched Bitrue, we decided to be a pilot with XRP as base currency. And I still remember many people said that was a joke. Bitrue was a joke. Here today, we have 13 XRP pairs already. I'm happy we made it also. That's the tweet I posted on December 27th last year. And as of today, we are contributing more than 6% of XRP trading value in global. Our XRP trading value already surpassed some big exchange, well-known exchange with the Bitrue, Colombus, Bitcoin. And even when we were born in the bear market, we still grew dramatically fast. And then we're even covered by a lot of media in Japan, US, Europe. And then, like a month or two ago, this media even reviewed us, we are top 5 promising stock of Silicon Valley this year. So that's Bitrue. That's how we started. So, as of today, we already have 50 XRP pairs on Bitrue. And not just that, we are also encouraging a lot of exchanges to follow our step. There are more and more, we are seeing more and more exchanges adopting XRP as base currency. And to take a step forward, like 2 months ago, July 19th, that was our first anniversary of Bitrue. And our anniversary, when we were celebrating our birthday, we decided to run an XRP validator as well. And very soon, we're including as one of the default UNL. It only happened like less than 2 months.
Unbelievable.
And then because of all this, because one belief we had in our mind, we became close friends and family with a lot of Ripple staff. In the middle, that's me. And then this lady, she is Emi Yoshikawa. She's in charge of the whole Asia partnership. So, for example, partnership with SBI, partnership with different kind of the financial institution in China, in Japan. That's all her. She is the one in charge of that market. And then last Warren is gentleman out here. He's pretty senior engineer in report. Probably a lot of people know this guy. And on the right, on the left, actually, I'm sorry, last lady, Corey. You know that she taken a new job. She left report, and then she's now running finance US. And then she's also one of our fans of Bitrue. And then today, Bitrue is not alone. After 1 year, we are not alone. We are not by ourselves anymore. We have more and more friends. We have more and more partners join us. We have 30 right here. 30 also came along from Amsterdam to join us today. We have SRP Cryto Wolf. We have Bones, our lovely Bones. We have Eric from Japan. Right? We have Alex Chicago. We have more and more people to join us, this family. So Bitrue today, after 1 year, we don't allow to be, and we still try very hard to be faster and faster every single day. And now, today, we are not alone. Today, I talked to a couple of the people today probably the day I took the more selfie, I took a lot of selfie today. This is the first time I feel excited because finally I get a chance to meet our users, our community members, and then thank for Scott putting all together all this. So, the journey so far is great. It's all good. But what's next? DeFi. Warren Buffett saying that if you don't make your money, if you find a way to make money while asleep, you're gonna work until you die. I believe that badly. I've been working in so I'll talk a little bit about my background. So, because some people ask me my background, my major. My major is computer science. So my very first job, I was a programmer, I was an engineer. I do all kind of coding. And then after that, I done a lot of product manager, and then business development, and then I was also in charge of the whole marketing team and e-commerce team, etc., etc. And then, but this big problem regarding the cryptocurrencies is that today, if you look at the whole value of cryptocurrencies, most of the value like 250 billion US dollars. But the thing is that we're not earning any interest on that, right? Today, even like for US dollar, even you put in the saving account, even though the dividends interest is pretty limited, but still earning some. I know in the United States, you can earn probably like 1% as the annual interest rate where you put your money into the less than 1%. I know in Europe it's the worst, right? But in crypto, that we are not earning anything by that. So early this year, we cannot program. We call it Bitrue Power PD. What does that mean? So this is a program we designed that for people who hold your cryptocurrency on Bitrue, you get a chance to earn interest for your cryptocurrency. If you put your XRP into this Power PD, you get to earn like 7 to 10% annual interest rate. And we're paying you by daily basis. And then, what's this Power PD program? So it's a program we designed it as a marketing campaign that we want to encourage more and more people to join Bitrue. So today we don't place any advertisement on CoinMarket. You don't see any ads on CoinMarket. You don't see any banner talking about Bitrue or any kind of conference either. Because we want to spend our marketing budget over our community member only. And that's why we designed this program. And that's why this program for some SRP, we have daily cap, like 300,000 SRP. And we have 2 slots a day for people to get in this Power PD, for people to get in, put their SRP into this program. and then you can unlock the SRP when you want to trade or you want to withdraw anytime you want. So, after Power Piggy, a lot of people will see Bitrue is a crypto exchange. But the thing is, we're not, I'm sorry, let me do that one more time. We are an exchange, but we are not just an exchange. We are aimed to become a financial service platform. So this is how it works in today's banking system. Today, like I said, bank, they take your hard-earned money and then they lend you something else, so they make a lot of money, right? Like $4 here. And then they put most of the money they earn, the revenue, into their own pocket. And they only share with you pretty limited or nothing with you. Even you put your money for there for free, right? So what we're trying to do is that today, banks themselves, that they only care about rich people. The way they treat Warren Buffett won't be the same way they treat you. They will share all kinds of secret and then good portfolio with those rich people. So for rich people, I mean, I just realized in this past 2-3 years that for a lot of rich people, it's pretty easy for them to identify like annual return like 6 or 7 or 10% return. Pretty easy. I mean, that's guaranteed. But it's not with every single of us. Because the bank, those brokers, they don't care about everyone. They care about rich people. Okay. And then so what we're trying to do is we want to leverage the blockchain cryptocurrency to be something that to disrupt the current banking system, to disrupt the current broker model. We are hoping to build something that we can have every single individual, they have the same right, they have the same privilege, they have the fair access to the banking financial service. It's not a secret anymore for those rich people. We want to reveal all those portfolio to every single of you, as long as you are in this community. So this is Bitrue's mission. We want to have more and more people, they have equal access to financial services. Whenever you are rich or poor, we don't care about how much money you have, as long as you are in this community, we want to share, we want to give you the best portfolio, we want to squeeze the most money with you. So doing that, after Power Piggy, by end of this month, we're going to launch our crypto lending service. We'll be the first one launching this crypto lending service as an exchange. A lot of us, we all believe that the value of the cryptocurrency we hold, it will skyrocket to the roof, maybe in a year or two. The value of the Bitcoin, the value of SRP will be just like 25 cents or 30 cents, will be just like 10 grand. That's what we believe. But the thing is, we still need to spend it for our living costs. So that's why we're launching this crypto lending service. And this crypto lending service, we're going to do something more different compared to other service providers. We're going to have higher long-term value rate. We're going to have lower APR rate. And we're going to adopt and accept more collateral choices. We won't just do it for Bitcoin, SRP, and those stable coins. We want all other altcoins that you hold in your hand that become alive. It's like the Deadpool. So end of this month, we got to do that. We got to launch that. But this is like lending crypto to crypto holders. And that's not enough. Today in global, it's around probably like 20 million or 30 million crypto holders. If we want to have the cryptocurrency or blockchain technology to change this world, that won't be enough. This number 20 million won't be enough. I mean, cryptocurrency is great, but compared to the traditional market, it's just way, way too small. So this is the question I'm thinking. I mean, every single morning I wake up, like how can we increase the penetration rate of the cryptocurrency? How can we increase the crypto holder from today, 20 million, to increase to maybe 200 million someday? So can Bitrue become the bridge to connect between cryptocurrency and traditional market? Can we do that? So since 2011 or 2012, in Southeast Asia market, I mean, there are a lot of the number of the capital deal being increasing, like double or triple, getting more and more in the recent year, and it's not stopping. There are more and more capital deals going on. We all know about Google, we all know about Facebook, it's kind of big company. And in South Asia right now, it is a booming company. There are a lot of capital deals going on. And then we are seeing more and more unicorn company coming out. There's a Grab, Gojek. They are like Uber. Lazada is like Amazon. They are running their e-commerce in Southeast Asia. They are all running like billions. They are all running business worth like billion US dollars. And they are growing. So today, here is how it is. This whole world, that because we gotta try to talk to different kind of entrepreneurs, we gotta try to talk to different kind of venture capital and fintech company. And this is a fact I want to share with everyone today. In the whole world, for those different countries, like US, Europe, Japan, this market, they are mature market already. And the progress we are making is pretty limited. Because we are mature, we are developed country. So that's why Germany, they are selling, last month they are selling zero interest rate bond. Sweden, even worse, they are giving you negative yield bond. But that's what's happening in this developed country. But the thing is, for a lot of countries, those booming markets, Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, this market, they are booming. A lot of venture capital, a lot of fintech companies, they are willing to pay a whole lot of money. They are willing to pay a lot of return for your investment. So this is probably an agenda we are thinking that in the past couple of months, and then finally that we've been establishing some partnership with some fintech companies in Southeast Asia, in some booming market. And we're going to help you to allocate those assets and give you the best return. So that's the thing we're going to do. So Bitrue is not just doing the crypto business within crypto world. We also try to bridge between crypto and traditional market. So this is the, like foundational Bitrue. We are still to change. We are doing crypto trade, and then we are doing all kinds of the trading activity out there. So trading is our foundation. We're gonna have more and more XRP pair coming out. But on top of that, we're gonna develop all kinds of financial service for cryptocurrency. So BTR is an exchange-based token which we issued a couple months ago. BTR is the one we use to build this financial ecosystem. And today, after all this month, I'm very happy to tell all our investors that BTR performance is stronger than a lot of projects. It's way healthier than a lot of projects. Its return over investment is over 200%, and sometimes even 300% or 400%. But right now, it's already stabilized at 20%. At this, and with stable trading value more than 2 million USD every single day. So, I know that a lot of people, they've been asking me, okay, curious, I have trouble to get my money into PowerPoint. Right? I love your PowerPoint. The thing is, I need to set out alarm in the middle of the night, I need to wake up, right? And then try to get my money into the PowerPoint. And then even I do that, I still cannot get my money, my XRP into the PowerPoint program. How can I do that? So a lot of people ask us, when can we have finally the personal cap for PowerPoint? So, end of this month, or beginning of next month, we're gonna have personal PowerPoint cap. And more to go. I think in 2 months or 3 months, if we are fast enough, hopefully, if we're not fast enough, we need to be faster. We are going to launch our fiat umbrella gateway for our users. Because we want to become the most friendly fiat gateway, not just for Bitcoin, but also for XRP as well. So today, you can purchase XRP with a fiat. And then if you want to purchase other, you can use those XRP pairs to purchase other altcoin. And XRP for you, you know that its performance and efficiency is way better than Bitcoin. It's way faster. And then, not just that. So I know today we already have credit card solution for a lot of people to purchase Bitcoin or XRP. But the thing about a credit card is that, I mean, I sort of like it. It's fast, right? I mean, just swap it and then you get your own XRP cryptocurrency. But the thing is, it's just too expensive. It costs you at least like transaction fee. It costs you at least like 3.5%, and that's a fact. Bitrue is not earning any money from this today. We're not. We give all this transaction fee to credit card service provider. We give all this money to Visa, MasterCard. So credit card is great, but it's just not good enough. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to open the bank direct deposit solution, wire and ACH solution for people to put your money, deposit your money to purchase XRP or Bitcoin. And also, we're going to do one more thing. So today, the cryptocurrency world is actually divided into retail market and institutional market. For retail market, the price we get is not the best deal. It's not. For institutional market, because it's a batch, so they get the best price out there. We've been talking to a lot of institutional customers in US, and we're talking to a couple of the OTC partners as well. And then I'm glad that we already established some partnership with them. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to bridge between the institution and the retail market. We want to offer the best price, the most friendly fiat gateway solution for our retail customers as well, not just for our institution. That's the thing we're going to do. So just FYI, today for those institutional customers, if you want to become an institution partner, if you want to become an institution customers, every single deal, the order has to be bigger than $100,000 US. So that's why it doesn't work for the retail customers. So we're gonna break the rules. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bridge in between. Last but not least, be true. Be the first. We are the first one. We are the first exchange to adopt XRP as best currency in global. And today we are not the only one. Not anymore. We are also the first one who come up with this PowerPoint idea, who give you dividends, who give you interest for your cryptocurrency while you hold it. And I know we are not going to be only one soon. Right. We are going to be the very first exchange offering financial service for our customers. And also, we are going to be the very first one who bridge between institution and retail customers together. We won't be the only one doing all this. Unfortunately, right, our competitors will catch up, but we will be the very first one. And that's us. That's Bitrue. A real deal. Thank you. Today, I'm very happy to come over here. So our team, Iris and Adam, they are our company management. They came along from Beijing, Asia, and then I actually traveled just back from Asia to US, and then I stayed less than 48 hours, and then I traveled here again. And I'm very happy. Last time when I was in UK, it was back in 2015 already, and then back to time was actually opened up some branch office for some company. And then today, I'm glad because of Scott putting all this together, we are here again to be on the SRP community and also our users. And Adam and Iris, they actually have some surprise and some gifts prepared to share with everyone. Adam?
Hey, curious, quick question. 1X rep.
Good question. Due to due to some agreement with some company, I'm not allowed to talk too much. But the thing is, of course, we have to get our VR gateway ready first, right? That's the first thing. And then we are also, you know that in US, recently there are a lot of policy changes, right? And then so we're also working with, we just hired a chief compliance officer from SEC. So he used to work at SEC. And then so we are also preparing a lot of stuff, just like Finance US are doing today, to get ourselves well prepared for everything. So that's why I said it will not take another 2-3 months for us to open the VR gateway. So when we get out ready, we'll wait for Ripple. Not company, I can say. So don't ask me again, we will have kind of extra partners, but we will get also.
I did.
We are 100% willing to do this, because this is what we believe at the very beginning when we start this journey. Yes.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Okay, so Curious in his presentation spoke a little bit about PowerPiggy. This is our program where you can invest your funds and earn between normally 7.3 to 10% interest based on the funds that you've invested. Curious also mentioned that we have personal caps for PowerPiggy coming in soon. Well, I'm happy to announce that today everyone here at DLTUK UK will receive the gift of being the first people to have the personal PowerPiggy caps opened up to them. So everyone here will be... Everyone here will individually be allowed to invest up to 100,000 USDT in the coin of your choice, open for the next 30 days. So to facilitate this, we're going to have a laptop set up just outside the room. Just write down your email address there, your registered Bitrue email address, and we'll connect that to the personal PowerPiggy cap system. If you're not already a user of Bitrue, you can still write down your email address and sign up maybe tonight or tomorrow, and then we'll still be able to hook you up. If you have if you're worried about maybe your privacy, you don't want other people seeing your email address, you're free to also write it down on a piece of paper and hand it to myself, Iris, or Curious, and we'll figure it out for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if anyone needs a referral code, that's me.
That was fantastic. Right. What's his name now? The charities, where's it from?
Jason, up the back.
Jason, what, come and have 5 or 10 minutes, mate? We're going to talk a little bit about XRP charity work now. Again, this will go right the way through most of cryptocurrencies. It can be used in a similar way, I'd imagine, but basically he's going to have a little talk now just about the XRP charity work that he's been involved in. Certainly have, mate.
How's everybody doing? You alright? I'll just get started by just explaining who I am and why I'm up here. So, my name is Jason. I'm from the South Coast in the UK, from Cryto. I've been involved with cryptocurrency now since early 2017. I bought my first XRP when it was around about 4 cents, and I've been on this kind of roller coaster like everybody's been on since then. Why I'm actually up here today, I'm here to actually talk to you about charities and XRP. Specifically, I am with a group on Twitter called the Good Souls Group. Can we just have a raise of hands who knows Good Souls Group in here? I'm not many, okay. So there is around about 27 of us at the moment on Twitter who are actually raising funds for charities in the UK and overseas as well. We've got 6 charities there at the moment. The one that I'm working with is called Children on the Edge, and they're based in Chichester, which is down in the south of the UK as well. Children on the Edge are actually the first charity in the UK to accept XRP. I had a meeting with Children on the Edge this time, when actually was it? It was earlier this year, the start of this year. And they've actually set up a wallet which can actually accept XRP directly, so that can be through the Tipbot. So far, we've raised just with Children on the Edge about 15,000 XRP, and that's just through the community on Twitter. The idea is that we want to try and get to, we're talking maybe 20,000 or more by the end of this year. Obviously, with XRP, all our expectations are that XRP at some point will be worth more than it is now. It's been obviously a very difficult wait for a lot of people that are kind of waiting for this value to kind of go up in the future. And with the charities, obviously that would be fantastic if the 15,000 XRP, if XRP can get to some of those highs that we saw before, will turn into a lot of money for these charities. So I'm just going to, I know I've not got lots of time, so I'm just going to kind of go through a little bit and follow the slides so I'm not kind of losing myself.
I'll walk them all.
Yeah, just go to the next one, that's right. So I just covered who I am as well. There you go. If you just go back one slide. Oh, yeah, next one after that. There you go, right. So, as I say, the person who set up the Good Souls Group is a guy called @KingBlue_XRP. If you haven't heard of him, check him out and add him on Twitter. He started the Good Souls Group in about April 2018. The reason he did this is he discovered the Tipbot. If you haven't used the Tipbot, and if you haven't heard of Weeksay Williams, who's the guy who created it, I recommend everybody downloads the Tipbot and gets involved in it, because it's something that can really help to build out the ecosystem as well. So he discovered the Tipbot and went to Weeksay, and he talked to him about charity initiatives, and Weeksay Williams agreed with him, said it's a fantastic idea, and he ended up starting a onboarding, or a place to onboard the charities with their own page. KingBlue then went to St. Jude in America, which is his charity he's looking after, contacted them daily, kept pestering them, and eventually actually they had a wallet set up directly. So again, St. Jude in America, and this is one of the largest charities in America, can accept XRP directly. It's in their full control, nobody else's, and if they want to cash out that XRP, it has to go through Weeksay Williams, who owns this XRP Labs, and that's the person who created the Tipbot, and they also have funding from Ripple themselves as well. So also just to mention on that one, so Since he set this up, we've received really large donations from people, sometimes 10,000 XRP plus, but also this is about micro donations as well, so it's very important that I mention. You can obviously through the tip bot send, I think it's now a drop of XRP, which is, I think it's like 1 million, or 1 millionth of an XRP, so you can send as little or as much as you want. So this is just quickly, so the Good Souls group, as I said, this is how we kind of encourage people to send or to try and generate interest in charities. So we have 27 people at the moment in the Good Souls group. When I want to put some information out about children on the edge and generate some interest, we have a marketing kind of, team there ready to kind of push out information about the charities and to generate as much interest as possible. So it's really helpful, and those guys have been really supportive. These are the actual people on Twitter. So XRP Trees is with the One Tree Project. They're a really interesting charity who basically will plant a tree in the world for $1 per tree. I don't know if a lot of you might be interested in VeChain as well. So today it was announced that one of VeChain's partners, who are Safe Haven, just came out today to say that they're actually going to be working with One Tree Project as well, so you should check them out. The idea of that charity is to try and get the carbon footprint of XRP completely down to zero. So far, XRP Labs with Weeksay Wind, they actually have their carbon footprint now down to zero. So if you're looking at things like the Bitcoin blockchain, which is incredibly wasteful in terms of the actual mining of Bitcoin, we're trying to get XRP down to absolutely zero, which just kind of brings home the point of how important XRP is for the environment as well. We spoke about St. Jude as well, that's through King Blue. Myself, I'm looking after Children on the Edge. They are a charity worldwide that help marginalised children who are in countries that have seen atrocities happen. For example, they're working with refugees in Lebanon at the moment who have been displaced from the war in Syria, with Syrian refugee children, and also with other children that are in places like Nepal and Indian borders, working with children that are unfortunately in brothels out there as well. So it's really important work. They are just a small charity, but they're doing some fantastic things, and I'd recommend you guys check them out as well. Happy Kids Dirty Hands, that's from a guy called Crandy71, XRP community again. He set up his own project to help get school children in America involved with being outdoors and starting gardening projects and teaching them how to grow their own vegetables and things like that. So they've done an amazing job raising lots of money for tools and equipment and educating children on how to be self-sufficient in that way. Filter of Hope from Big Buckle, again XRP community. This is to provide water filters to lots of developing countries in the world to provide them with clean, fresh water. Again, they've raised an enormous amount of XRP, and he's actually working with them and going out to the projects, which you can follow him on Twitter and see what they're doing. One More Home, which is also a very interesting project. This is to in El Salvador, and our person working out there called Ramintol or Moncho. This is to build 3D printed houses for families who do not have homes. So far, they've raised again a lot of XRP, and I believe we're actually now about to build our first home for these families, and hopefully, fingers crossed, many more in the future. So you can actually skip this. This is about Children on the Edge. So this is just to explain about some of the initiatives we've been running. I contacted Brad Garlinghouse myself. This was around about maybe 6 months ago. I sent him direct messages on LinkedIn, and this is how incredible Ripple are as a company. He actually responded to St. Jude's and the charity themselves. So St. Jude, they were the original first XRP charity. We just crossed 100,000 XRP. That was around about 2 weeks ago. So obviously, if XRP gets back to its all-time high, which is a possibility in the future, you can imagine just how significant that's going to be for St Jude, and who knows where that might go in the future if it gets to $10 per XRP. So this is the one that I was talking about as well, the One Tree project. If you don't know already, the QR codes here, you are able to scan through the tip-bot, and you're able to send XRP directly to the charities as well, so you would actually see that on the ledger pop up. So while I'm doing the slides, feel free to have a scan as well. So this is the One More Home one that I was talking about. So the current balance of XRP here with this charity is now 21,000 XRP. Moncho, the guy on Twitter, he only started this roughly around 4 or 5 months ago, so quite incredible how much XRP they've generated already. So actually, it started in January 3rd, 2019, with gold raising $6,498. The amount needed to cover the cost of one more home for the family needed in, I can't pronounce that, in El Salvador. So One More Home started as a campaign to fund one home for a family in need. Thankfully, due to the astonishing response from the donor base, the objective is now to raise funds and keep helping build one more home for the foreseeable future. Just to mention these, it's important to note some of the charities, like One More Home, they're a private campaign, so that's through Moncho. The charity itself isn't One More Home. It is this project called New Story Charities. They do not accept XRP at this time, and all the XRP that's sent to One More Home has been then transferred back into beards and is then sent on to the charity itself to build the houses. So this is the Happy Kids Dirty Hands charity I was talking about. So they've raised $5,500 US at the moment. Purchased over $4,000 of equipment for these children, and they receive different digital assets as well, not just XRPs. They've had TRX, Nano, and 21 other digital assets as well. This is the Filter of Hope one that I was talking about as well. So they're working all across the world, Asia, Africa, and in Europe too. As I say, just about the drinking filters, the water drinking filters as well. So this is just to explain quickly about those who, does everybody here know about XRP Tipbot? Are you all using it at the moment currently? Raise your hands for everybody who's using the Tipbot already. Okay, alright. So for those of you that don't understand or know what Tipbot is, so you have the login page here where you'll go on and you're literally able to send a tip to anybody who's actually already functioning using the XRP Tipbot themselves. So similar with the charities, you can literally log on there, find Children on the Edge, or find any of the other charities and send the XRP directly to them. So this is just about the charity splitter that we have. So you can either choose to donate your XRP directly to the charities, or you can actually go to the XRP Tipbot splitter, which if you then send, in this example here, this XRP Lazarus, he donated 12 XRP to the Twitter account is Good XRP, and that then straight away splits the XRP into 2 XRP per charity as well. So yeah, this is just to show you what's actually happened. So these are all the charities. So far we've raised over 211,000 XRP. Some of that has actually been taken out already, as I say, to buy equipment or to go straight to the homes. And then other charities like Children on the Edge and St Jude are actually holding on to their XRP more as an asset, hopefully that they can use it for the future for bigger things. This is just to give you an idea. So this gentleman here, Nixa, FFM, he's really a great guy. He's a developer. So he's created this website with statistics pages that tell you all about how much XRP everybody sent. So you can kind of see, so the most tips received through the tip box is actually St Jude, so that's a charity, the charity I'm talking about. So When we talk about building out the ecosystem with XRP, I think people don't understand that the charities at the moment are the largest receivers through the XRP tip bot. If you think about other organisations like GoFundMe or all these other big charity websites, this could potentially build into something that is potentially a large thing that will build out the XRP ecosystem and also help charities in the future. So the second largest receiver of XRP is actually Wind, and he's the person that actually built the XRP tip bot. Most tips sent, you see the users there, so some of these people in that section there are just people that are kind of philanthropists, I guess, in their own right, and send a lot of XRP to charities to help us out. And then you also have the most XRP sent to the other charities on there as well, and other users.
He's throwing it out him, isn't he, all in XRP? Big him up on Twitter, Kurt.
So this is just a slide to show again, just about most XRP received as well from, this is to Just Good XRP, the charity splitter, as I was saying. So again, these are just, some of them are just individual users. So my Twitter handle, I'm actually second in that list, is C Pilots 2017. That's predominantly because I've been running these initiatives, so I've had a lot of XRP sent to me. And then I've sent them on to the charity rather than being a massive holder of XRP and being able to do that kind of thing or have that much to send. But the gentleman above me, so tips for DT, he's an individual, somebody that we don't actually know who he is, but he's sent a lot of XRP to these charities as well, or to Good XRP, which has been split between all of them.
Bitrue on there as well.
Yeah, Bitrue on there as well. So obviously, I think it goes without saying that it's not just like us that are like looking after charities. You know, Ripple have been big inspirations. Probably a lot of us that you've seen the kind of initiatives that they've come out with, and they're really going out their way to help charities as well. And obviously, I can vouch for even the fact that Brad Gard in that house, even had the generosity to kind of reach out to me as well, or even come back to me with their busy schedule to try and help out the charities. So that's been brilliant. If you haven't looked into Ripple and all the different initiatives that they're doing and the charity work, it's something that again you should definitely have a look at. They're doing some really important work.
It's worth noting that is one thing they have let drip in to mainstream media. Aspen Kutchop on Ellen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The one part of Ripple that they're actually letting drip into the mainstream media is the charity work. Nothing of ILP or anything, but at least the charity work is being recognised.
And then just to say, like, if you want to try and maybe get something going yourself, we'd be all ears, like in our group, or by all means, you don't have to go through the Good Souls group. I'd encourage everybody to kind of look for maybe charitable causes and to use the XRP tip bot, because it's such a great way of being able to raise money. So if you can think of any charities you're involved in yourselves or anything you want to get started, it's just a brilliant way of building out the ecosystem, as I say, and helping people at the same time. So we'd be more than happy to have you in a group with us, or we'd still be supporting anybody who's trying to do good with XRP at the same time. Just again, it's just a visual kind of aid, just to give people an idea of really, how this could help these charities in pound sterling. So I'm sorry for the US viewers in here, but these figures could be, obviously, especially for small charities, life-changing. This is what I'm really hoping happens with XRP, and that the charity that I'm helping, get to see this kind of benefit that we're all hoping we see as well, which will, help hopefully hundreds of thousands, if not millions, and maybe more people in the future too. And these are the QR codes. So I've got a very quick kind of speech to read out, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Another 5 minutes, and while I read out the speech, I'm just going to leave these up here for everybody. If you want to scan the QR codes and send some XRP, that would be great.
Yeah, what we'll do is you have a little speech now, and then when you're finished, we're going to move into the other suite. We've got some pastries and tea and coffee and that. So if you would like to drop any of them a small donation, As everyone's leaving after the chat, just walk up, give it a little scan, you know, the scripts if you've got the tip or YREX, anything, just want to send 1 or 2 XRP, you know, the scripts. So yeah, we'll do it.
Cool, so I'm just gonna read this out. I'm sorry if it's a bit of a rushed speech, but I'm just gonna go through it and hopefully everybody will receive as well. So this now leads me on to what I envisage for XRP and its socio-economic benefits that can be realised by this extraordinary technology. Forgive me for speaking candidly. Forget the FUD and leave Twitter behind. Let's get rid of all the distractions and focus on technologies that can bring change and an appropriate reaction to the disparity of wealth and so many other issues that the world faces today. If you're about to tear me apart on Twitter because Ripple hold an enormous amount without understanding that Ripple are working with the very people that provide the plumbing which facilitates cross-border payments, remittances and the like to foreign parts of the world that have unfairly never had access to these vital services. Only a few months ago, I was even held ransom by a correspondent bank in Hong Kong who picked up the cross-border message provided by SWIFT, and I still cannot get over how ironic that name is. And after 5 days, had charged me an astounding 90% of the total amount for their shoddy service. A more poignant and prime example is that of an overseas Filipino worker. I personally knew friends whilst I was living in Hong Kong before who used services like Western Union for remittances to send money back from Hong Kong to the Philippines with high commissions that took money from their families so that they could use a substandard and outdated service whilst also standing in the line for the people, being able just to be able to make the transfer on their only day off in the week. In my eyes, this is criminal, just as it would be if the Bitcoin community also had their own way, waiting hours or a day for settlements on the Bitcoin blockchain because of network fees or missing the next block. Or how about putting the wool over everybody's eyes when it comes to the Lightning Network and pretending that they've cracked it just to keep up with the charade? New technologies and technological revolutions have throughout our history improved living standards immeasurably. How could anyone in their right mind argue that Bitcoin and its store of value argument improve on our living standards except to replace gold with a digital version of gold? At the end of the day, we already have the Lightning Network. It's called the XRP Ledger. And you won't be held ransom by network fees and morally questionable miners in the process. If these miners and people championing Bitcoin as a solution to solve all the wrongs in the world have it their way, nothing will change. The payment system will continue to exclude billions. Fees should be minimal, if not zero. Over days, months and years, these fees could equate to a roof over someone's head, food on their table, or giving them access to basic necessities in economies where it's quite literally the difference between life and death. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the like do not cut it. Every drop counts, every Satoshi would count if they cared enough, especially to the people where the drops or Satoshis could make the biggest difference. When you start to use XRP, when you start to send it across the world within seconds for next to nothing, and if you don't then think about all the people that this fantastic technology like XRP can do to change so many lives, then I suggest you take a hard look in the mirror. If you are not concerned by the energy costs that mining brings, if you haven't seen the videos of football fields full of processes whirling away without considering the environmental impact of these technologies, and if you sweep it under the carpet by ridiculing anybody who challenges your idiocy, then shame on you. If we continue to push technologies that do not already better the current antiquated systems that we have in place, then you're quite simply only in this for yourself, and that in this current climate is not good enough. I want to see a new currency, or a bridge asset in this case, that is able to scale to the point where we can include the 2 billion unbanked, where they are able to transact securely and transparently, that we're able to send value as freely as we send information, that it won't cost a large percentage of an overseas Filipino worker's salary as an example. and that by doing so we can empower these people, enabling them to make settlements in real time for themselves, their families, and those who need it the most, saving them money and time in the process. Even if it's not Ripple and XRP, it has to match it or better it. Because anything less than what we are seeing in XRP is not good enough. I want to see charities and those that they help being able to receive assets in real time, aid in real time. With climate catastrophes and other atrocities, unfortunately and seemingly on the rise, being able to receive these funds instantly should be the goal. Instant access to aid. It's also imperative in my eyes that we don't become greedy, that this space should not have such a focus on Lambos and making money, especially when this technology can change so many lives. It should be about technology, primarily, and how it can make everybody's lives better. Even if we do put ourselves in the top percentages and become some of the wealthiest people by most people's standards and as pioneers, let's not leave the rest of the world behind again. Let's use this technology to better our societies and make sure this time that everybody comes along for the ride with us. For those that are in the know, we already are aware that if Ripple ceases to exist, we will still be left with a digital asset that can be used like only a few others in this space. But I'm sure I speak for a lot of you in this room today that Ripple are doing their utmost to bring this world closer to reality, and this is deserving of our support. It's not only Ripple and XRP though. There are plenty of other projects and ideas within the blockchain arena that can bring about huge and positive changes to our world, like decentralized finance, for example, which has some phenomenal use cases. So please don't pin me as only being a Ripple and an XRP fanboy. It's just that at present, they are the only ones to particularly look out for and who are actually leading by example. In my eyes, David Schwartz and the developers of the XRP ledger will potentially be up for awards like the Turing Award in the future. And I'm sure, and I'm hoping that we can all educate and spread these positive messages to everyone on the inside and newcomers to the crypto space. That this technology needs to be recognised as the only and viable digital asset that is even close to seeing these important issues becoming a reality. Thank you.
The hurricane, how fast can they receive aid? It was all on tip-top, man. Legitimately, like, we're the only people who knows that we can, like, we've got 100 and odd people here now. No, it's not much, but $1 each right now. 4 XRP through tip-top, boom, to Florida, to the Bahamas, to wherever they need it, and bam, it's there. Instant, like, I mean, I can use it now, mate. Yeah, well done, lad, well done. So yeah, like I said, we'll leave that up legitimately until something else needs to go up. So if there's anything up there that you feel like you want to give a little cheeky donation to, feel free to go and do it. I don't know how close you have to get for it to scan. But, pastries, tea and coffee on the other side. So waiting on the Torre fireside chat now, guys. Yeah, so let's relax a little bit.
Okay, guys, just to let you know, Bitrue has just sent a donation to Children on the Edge. And on that note, we are going to go and have coffee, so I will come back to you later. And the next thing we're going to have is the fireside chat with Crypto Wizard. So, anybody watching, if you're thinking about tipping for everything that I'm doing today, I nominate you send it to Children on the Edge. Thank you very much. Bye.
CKJ said he'll send some.
You can turn it off this time. I think it's still going.
No.
Yeah, it's still going.
Was it? It's still going.
It's still going.